So in this video, this one, I think Dana, you're going to enjoy this one, and I think his name is Yui from Hamburg. Um, you may not enjoy this one so much. This one's proper shooting yourself in the foot here, differently. This is from mid October. I have missed the boat on this one, but I don't really care. Amazon Brexit lorry park. Ashford Brexit lorry park consultation starts 4 months after work began on the site near Junction 10A. And so what we know from this area is that the government brought the land on the sly, and then started construction on it. And then the local MPs were like, "Bro, what are you doing? You can't do that." And then they're like, "Well, we need a lorry park because of all the new paperwork needed because of Brexit." And then they're like, "Oh, so basically." Kent is joining the EU essentially. Nah, I'm messing. It's not that bad, but it's pretty bad. And so we'll look at the lorry park in a minute. So this is about about discussion on the lorry park, even though they begin constructing it. Residents are being urged to have their say on Ashford's controversial post-Brexit lorry park. 4 months after work began on the site, the Department for Transport, DFT, is inviting people to submit their views about the 66-acre acre spot next to Junction 10A, which is being made ready for the end of the transition period in December. And so I don't know if this plot of land's going to be ready by December, to be honest with you. This is wild. This is actually wild. When built, the site officially called the Sevington Inland Border Facility. God, sounds like somewhere where you'd process refugees and migrants. The Inland Border Facility will be used to process paperwork before truckers continue their journey. So basically, if you're taking stuff into the EU, you may have to stop off here to make sure all your paperwork's done properly. Imagine how long that's going to take, how much extra that's going to cost. And how much that's going to impact the drivers as well, having to spend extra hours going to this place because some joke has voted to leave the EU without having planning. And in the event of disruption at Dover and the Eurotunnel, it will be holding a holding area for up to 1,700 heavy goods vehicles to avoid queues at the M20. So you're talking about potentially 1,700 lorries in this place. You're talking massive amounts of pollution in Kent. You're talking massive amounts of queues. You're talking about massive amounts of costs. All because we did this thing which we had no idea about how to implement it. I'm talking about Brexit. Now ministers are keen for residents to share their views on the project. These men are funny. Surely you told them before you do it, but they had to do it on the slide because they knew people wouldn't like this, which was shrouded in secrecy in the summer when the government snapped up the site and started construction. Although enabling works have been taking place since July, the Special Development Order (SDO), which allows the Secretary of State to grant planning permission, still needs to be confirmed, and the 14-day public consultation forms part of that. And so what's going to happen is people are going to say, we don't want this here, and the government will say, well, sucks to be you. And that's what's going to happen. Residents now only have until Monday, the October 26th, so that's gone, the deadline's gone. With the government saying any feedback received will help shape details of the planning submission. It's not going to change anything because they've already bought the land. What are they going to do? They can't do anything. This is going to go ahead. Ashford Borough Council, a deputy leader, councillor Paul Bartlett, Conservative, who lives close to this site, is urging people to get involved. So basically, this man's mad because this is going to happen on his doorstep. We've only got to the 26th, and I think it's vital for people to go on the website now. This is their chance, he said. This isn't normal planning application where people will be able to go to a committee hearing and be able to have the chance to speak, but it will be determined by the Secretary of State, who will see the comments. Look at the size of this thing; it's huge. That's a retail park. Retail parks are normally quite big. This thing's like 4 or 5 times the size of it. This thing's massive. And plus, it's going to jam up this whole area. That's the other thing. It's going to jam up this whole area here. Is an opportunity for people to put in front of their views of the Secretary of State with all the decisions made, and it's rare to do that. This is a serious consultation, and people need to embrace it. Nothing's going to change from this. And this is my favourite quote from this article, probably from Brexit, to be honest. It is not an opportunity for Remainers to have a go at Brexit, but an opportunity for the people who want to genuinely have a say about the impact it will have on the community. Mate, you voted. You guys, Brexiteers said you knew what you voted for. People in Kent voted overwhelmingly for Brexit. You knew you were voting for this, apparently. Don't backtrack now. Don't get mad now that it's on your doorstep, that you're a NIMBY, not in my backyard, because this has happened now. So well done to you. Shouts out to you, Kent. It is not an opportunity for Remainers to have a go. It absolutely is. If you're a Remainer and can't have a go, I know the period's gone, but I'd have a word with the council and say, how did you vote? You feel stupid now, innit? We don't want people saying afterwards they wish things were different. They have got to engage with it now. Well, that sums up Brexit, to be fair. All vehicles accessing the lorry will have to use junction 10A, and bosses say drivers will be fined if caught using other routes. So that junction's going to be blocked up essentially. The photo shows just how close the site is to £104 million junction, which opened to traffic in October last year. So junction 10A has been built just 700 meters southwest of the original junction. This is boring stuff, but this if this is the entrance here, that whole street's gonna be blocked. I guarantee you it. As well as the 66-acre Sevington site, the government has confirmed the nearby Waterbrook Park industrial estate could also be used for lorry parking. So they're not only do they want to climb up this whole area, they want to climb up this area too. I think an industrial estate. So they're saying that basically that they may need space for over 1,700 lorries because of all of this mess. Alongside the Sevington site, HMRC will be seeking approval for the development of an inland border facility at the nearby Waterbrook site at Ashford, she said. Both sites are being progressed to ensure one of them will be available for January 1st, 2021. So that's next year, isn't it? And the current intention is that Sevington and Waterbrook inland border facilities will not be operational at the same time. So is that because they don't have enough time, or they don't want the both to be active at the same time because of traffic? Who knows? This is the MP here, Damien Green, says the Waterbrook plan is an insurance policy. So this thing here is not an insurance policy. This is going to happen. This is great. Ashford MP Damien Green says the Waterbrook's insurance policy, he told Kent Online, is just in case they can't get the Sevington site up and running on time. You've had 4 years. You've had 4 years to do this. 4 years. And you couldn't get your act together. You couldn't even build this lorry park in time for this. You've had 4 years. My God, man. There's no reason to believe they won't. I mean, there's many reasons to believe they won't. They haven't got anything online, mate. Damien Green. It would be much less good if it was used because it's further away from the motorway and it cause a lot more inconvenience. I mean, this whole lorry park's going to cause a massive amount of inconvenience. I have been told they won't both be needed at the same time, but I'm keeping a close eye on it because we all know that plans can change. Well, I can see this not being ready. I can honestly see it not being ready. So Councillor Dara Farrell, leader of the Labour group at Kent Council, feels that the Waterbrook site will be used. The Victoria Ward representative on Ashford Council said they say they won't be used at the same time, but this government said that the Sevington site wasn't a lorry park in the first place. True. Whatever they're calling it, there will be a lot of lorries on there. I think they will need to be upfront with people about it and start the mitigation works for now. They're not going to be honest with people because they haven't been honest with people with anything about Brexit and about COVID. So I don't know why you're expecting honesty now. We don't want lorries going all over the place. Well, they're not going all over the place. They're going into this lorry park and then into France or maybe Belgium, depending on if you take the ferries. That depends on geography. The number of trucks able to be sorted out at Waterbrook is not known yet, but up to 1,700 heavy goods vehicles could be parked up on the Sevington site for 6 months, reducing to 950 after 2021. Why would it reduce to 950? What's going on there? On the Sevington plot, the northern sector of the development will initially be used for HMRC customs checks from January 1st, with the southern part close to the church road becoming a full holding area. It is expected that lorries will continue to be checked on the land until 2025. That's when they're going to have this fabled IT system, which it just won't work because none of our IT systems will work. It took them, I think, a decade to get universal credit working properly. All vehicles accessing this spot will have to use junction 10A. They'll be fine. So, they've got one inlet, essentially, one way in to this park. So if anything happens, this road gets damaged or gummed up or anything, they're screwed. And so this is an absolute tragedy for Kent. But, I don't have a lot of sympathy considering you vote majorly for Conservative MPs. And also, you voted for Brexit 59 to 41. So you knew what you were voting for, right? This is your MP here. He voted Remain, but he's had to suck it up and deal with it. So, my advice to Kent is suck it up and deal with it. You knew what you were voting for, mate. I don't want to hear it. You knew what you were voting for. Look at the size of this thing. It's huge. I mean, there's your entrance there. You've got one entrance, right? Can we see how many roads in are there? Is there a picture of that? Please do not tell me that's a single lane entry. Oh my god. That looks like a single lane entry. I can't tell from this picture. But even if that's a double lane entry, it's going to cause absolute chaos. This is going to cause absolute chaos in Kent, and you're going to see massive health problems arise from this because of all the pollution. So good luck, Kent. And if you're looking for a good money spin anywhere nearby, build a petrol station because or a cafe, a lorry cafe, because there's going to be a lot of passing by trade. But anyways, I'm going to wrap it up there. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Dana, I think you're gonna enjoy this one. Not gonna lie. If you do watch it, let me know in a comment like you normally do. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one.